we don't want him here.
We prefer to keep the frequency clear of the shit. I mean, have you seen his house? Have you seen that piss bucket next to the toilet full of piss? Have you seen that live mold growing in the living room? I mean, in the kitchen? Well, it's probably growing in the living room, too, because he's got dog turds on the living room floor. That's N6ZKZ. N6ZKZ.com. See it for yourself.
Yeah, you don't even have to. You know, in the old days, we used to have to go www, but not anymore. So now you just go to www.n6zkz.com and look at the filth this fucking whack job lives in.
That is right. That is right. See, Steve Hooten is married to Jimmy Hoffman, and so that's you should know it. Jimmy, you should know this by now.
I think you're trying to be like Steve Hoffman, a fucking idiot.
Get it right. He took your last name. It's Steve Hooten now, okay?
No, I hadn't looked at it. I think there was once. I just kind of scanned it. I'm looking at it now. Oh my god. And whoever put that up, I mean, my biggest thing was, as written at the top of that, that he's like essentially turned on people, right? That try to help him. And I'm one of those. I think Steve has turned on every single person he's ever met in his lifetime. I think that's safe to say. Oh, his family don't want him. His brother don't want him. I called his brother years ago to talk to him about Steve doxing me, calling my job. You know what he told me? Please don't call me anymore. Me and my brother, we don't communicate. Call your local law enforcement. And he's a lawyer. That's what he told me. I never confirmed that personally, but that was the word. Steve's brother was an attorney, and our theory was that he was helping him out, but it kind of became clear that that's not the case anymore. Yeah, I think in the beginning they were, probably, cool with each other. That phone call I made to his brother, it seemed like there was don't call me again about him. I don't care about him. So you do have first-hand information in that regard. I got his brother's phone number from Jeff Bregel. Okay. But, I mean, he did confirm when you called him that, yeah, I am his brother, but don't call me anymore. Yeah, I told him I got the number from Jeff Bregel. I said, he's been calling my job, harassing everyone. He says, I get these calls about my brother all the time. He just told me I'm done. Okay, copy that. That helps me. Yeah. I'm pretty thick-skinned. But the Hoffman one was one of those, and there's several, that hurt me. It really hurt me. I tried to help the guys. I was helping buy stuff and all this, and then he just turned on me like a rabid dog. I mean, I'm hours on the phone. But anytime you have a phone call with Steve Hoffman, it's at least an hour. And half of that is like him talking about his mommy issues. Yeah. I've never had a phone call conversation with Mr. Hoffman, but yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I had at least 3 I can remember, but that was way back. But yeah, he turned on me, and it became a show, like how, and he's a puppet. I know that. People were trying to, play the whole situation where I was sending him power supplies that he frankly bought. For some reason he couldn't buy it himself. He sent me postal money orders, but he has no bank account. I don't know what it is. Anyway, they turned on me. I think it was, kind of like that whole Valley crew was like, pulling the strings, puppet strings, and, like making these shows about, Roger sent me a power supply, it almost burned my house down, and it's bullshit. Yeah, I mean, the thing is because he's a loner, and he wants to belong and try to, fit in with everyone else, that's why he was easy pickings for those guys to use him. he's too stupid to realize that these guys are calling him on the phone, telling him words to say while he's on the radio. There were sometimes he would have it on, I guess, speaker, and you could hear John Jolly in the background telling him what to say.
All getting pegged by Jimmy Hoffman.
Is that about Hoffman?
I mean, he's not a smart guy. I'll just leave it at that.
But I mean, okay, yeah. So sorry, I missed that one comment. But yeah, same thing. I heard the same thing. So it was like, at least in my era, when I was getting harassed by Hoffman, hardcore. I mean, off the air and everything, family calls and all. Call my wife and this and that. I could tell that was John Jolly, and it was also a.k.a. Tom Schwartz in Nebraska. That guy was he was the same. Schwartz was the same way. He was like he needed somebody that he needed to be part of something. He's probably antisocial or whatever. But yeah, I did hear from Ojai Roy the recording about when Terry was on 450 and clearly having symptoms of stroke. I did hear Tom Schwartz kind of talk him through it nicely, and that was good to hear him, like he's trying to help someone for once instead of hurt someone.
Yeah, that's another person that has some mental issues.
Well, back when we were trying to do the TeamSpeak thing, right? I thought he was at that point. I thought, okay, this guy's part of the team, and but he just went nuts. All the stuff he's configuring, like, no, don't do that. So I took the admin away from him, and then just fuck. We shut the whole thing down, Tammy and I.
You gotta be fucking shitting me. Another fucking car accident? I'll be right back.
If you need help, let us know. K6 in WT San Diego, in the rain.
Oh my God. All right, I'll be back. Got to check in with the net, and I'm listening. K6SYW. All right.
WB6SUS, is it raining where you are?
Yes, sir. It's raining in San Diego at this time. Is that the real hand-me cash?
Real hand-me cash. California's only radio dispatch gigolo at your service.
Well, I hadn't heard you in a while.
I don't get on the repeater very much. What happened to the beep?
Well, it doesn't always beep. Well, so now, okay, so you're on 2 meters. I'm on 220. We also have a 440 input now, so we have 3 inputs. They all mix together. On the 220 and 440, they don't beep. I'm going to change that, but it's going to be different than the drip. But yeah, no beep. That's why.
Okay, I'm not sure if I should wait for the beep or not. So that's because I guess I'm coming in on the 2 meter one. So when I let go, it'll beep.
Yeah, that's correct. I know it's a little annoying, but when I stop talking, you can talk. And if you start talking while I'm still talking, I'll hear you, and I'll stop talking.
See, like so.
So what's going on with the repeater? I haven't been on here in quite a while. I'm heading over to Palm Springs today and then to Yuma tomorrow for the Hamfest.
Oh, there's a Hamfest in Palm Springs? Well, okay, that's one question. And the answer to your question is...
Mixing.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. No. Is that true? Is there a Hamfest in Palm Springs?
Negative. I'm just going to go visit a friend for today and spend the night at his house, and then we're both going to go to... Yuma, pick him up, and we're going to go there.
Oh, Yuma. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the repeater's, I think, operating pretty well. There's a few things that we're getting ready to do a hill trip. There's a fire, in Santiago. I'm sure you're aware of that. And so the road's been closed for a while. But they're semi-open now with a Forest Service permit, which I obtained, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, we have these 3 inputs now. Which is kind of a change, probably maybe since you were here last, but yeah. Anyway,
it's really cool because you can mix like this.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, it does sound different, I will say that. No, there's no Hamfest in sponsor. I'm just going to go meet an old coworker, and we're both going to go to the Yuma Hamfest on Thursday. Spend the weekend there and then go back respectively in reverse direction. But yeah, that's it. I remember the roads to Santiago. I can remember when it was washed out. We had all kinds of problems. I worked for Motorola. I hated going up to that mountaintop. And then I got the job with the state of California, and I did that and retired from there. And now I work for the city of LA. And I'm still working. I could have retired. I thought, you know what, I want to work. Fortunately for me, I can take a train from about a mile from where I live is a train station, and where I work is right across the street from Union Station.
Oh, wow. I know that Union Station area well. I've gone to 111 Hill Street a few times, if you know what that is, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I've been in the office now for, I used to be out in the field, but we're working in the office now, dispatching people and stuff like that. I'm in the telephone section for the city of LA. So I don't do much radio anymore, but hey, it's still electronics, and once in a while when they get some old radio they can't figure out, because they're all young and stupid, they call this old fart to come look at it.
Cool. Are you still applying any of your time to your battle you're doing against telemarketers?
Hey, Roger, is 111 the courthouse?
Yes. 111 Hill Street is the big Superior Court building in LA. Superior Court in LA.
Yeah, I'm on the 210 freeway right now. No, I still play with telemarketers, but they've gotten smarter now. They hide their names and everything. What usually happens is, let's say I want to get my solar company advertising. So I get a company in the Philippines or something like that with English speakers to say, hi, this is the Solar Coalition calling. We have special deal for you. We have special experts. We blah, 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 blah. The state of California pays money, blah, 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 blah. Can we come to your house and take a look and make you an estimate? So I give an address on a house, on a property that doesn't actually exist on my block. And I give them a phony name, and I make arrangements. Yeah, that's my house is. Come and take a look at it. And I walk over there. It's about 3 or 4 houses down. It's an empty lot. And I see the truck, and I get the name of the truck, and I say, he says, are you looking for somebody? He says, yeah, I'm looking for John Davis. I said, oh, there's no person here. I always gave you that name as phony. Hey, are you guys at Solar? And they'll say, yes. Yeah. So, you know, I really like Solar. My brother has it. It's blah, 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 blah. I want to get it. And I have his business card. So I get his business card. And then I send him an email asking for a copy of his do not call policy. And, of course, I use an email called catsbox@gmail.com. Which is California's Get Telephone Solicitation Mailbox, basically, CATS. And I would use a tracking service called Read Notify. It tells me when they open it and when they open it and when they forward it. The next thing I do is after wait 30 days, I haven't gotten the policy. I take his business card, I file a small claims court, and the rest is history. I actually have an FCC ruling referring to my ARCO versus Bank of America thing for not providing a do-not-call policy, and the FCC says that's a requirement. To tell you to do so is a violation of law.
Wow, that's one of your stories where you really went deep. But I know it's kind of a hobby for you, and there's people out here that have talked about, kind of playing with the telemarketers and such. And but like you said, I mean, a lot of it now, there's a lot of like built-in spam, elimination, AT&T, other providers, you get alert, like spam risk on a call, because, and also like when you get a call or you get a text, you can basically say, junk, I think it's junk mail, kind of thing. So it's kind of like a crowd, kind of thing where, people report it, and then, but then again, like you say, they'll change number.
So when you're on ham radio and you get a bunch of jammers and people that don't have call signs, would that be called spam radio?
Ooh, you might have coined a term.
Yeah, I like that. No, it's just when we go to court, each person say, they ask Robert Ark, are you here? John Smith, are you here from the Solar company, John Smith Solar, you here, yeah. So they say, now that you know where each other is, you got to go in the back of the, outside the hallway and try to settle it and show your evidence. When I show them that ruling with my name on it, and then I tell them I've been on Dateline NBC and I actually have a copy of the Dateline on my phone and show it to them, they change their minds and they want to settle. So, that's it. And if they don't want to change their minds, they want to settle, they'll say, well, that's obviously intentional, Your Honor. And that's intentional violation. That's triple damages.
Oh, so, yeah, of course, yeah. I get that. And of course, a subpoena to someone's like a real, wake-up call, right? But you're doing this stuff in L.A., Superior Court, 111 Hill Street?
No, there's a court in Chatsworth, and that's where I live in Santa Clarita, so it's closer for me to go there. So it's just easy. I'm not going to fight my way down to L.A. and get on the train and go through that crap when I don't have to. So besides, all the judges know me there. So I mean, one judge says, "Oh, Mr. Uncle, I see you're here." I said, "Yes, I am." He says, "Have you got another telemarketer?" I said, "Yes, I do." He says, "Well, let me ask you." He asked the telemarketer, "Did you call Mr. Uncle?" And he asks a lot of questions because he knows what to ask. And you can't settle it? He said, okay, well, well, what say you, Mr. Urk? I said, well, since he can't settle it, he obviously was intentional, and I'm going to invoke the triple damages rule. And he says, says the guy, you aware of the triple damages rule? He says, no. He says, well, it's triple damages, And since you didn't want to settle, I guess we'll have to, $500 original, it's 3 times $1,500, and court case closed.
No, I understand that legal process. And actually, you kind of turned me on to that years ago. I never did any of that, but I just was legal curiosity. But you had mentioned that you were I thought you said working around Union Station. Well, but yeah, I guess Chatsworth. That's kind of like maybe where you live, and that's kind of the closest jurisdiction, at your residence.
Plus, I know all the judges and. I've been in there like a bunch of times, so they want to get me out, so they ask the questions real quick and make the ruling like zam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Gotcha. K6MWT. Well, Bob Arco on the frequency. Famous 425er. We'll say that much.
86 MIV as well.
Oh, you want to waste my time? I'll waste yours. Now, some telemarketers, they're not trying to sell something, or they're trying to sell a service or something like that. So I'll say, for example, I'll say, well, I'm only 16. You want to talk to my dad? And they'll say, yeah. I say, okay, hang on. I mute the cell phone and let it sit there.
Yeah. No, I occasionally play with them if I'm in the mood. I get a lot of these calls. We all get a lot of these calls, I'm sure. Like, hey, you have this property, this place, blah, 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 you want to sell it, this buy me now thing is like, buy it now for cash, I've seen people, like even our neighbors have done some of those, and I think half the commercials in San Diego are like these companies that are like, we'll buy your house for cash now, we'll give you cash in like 10 days, close, for, for like $300,000 less than market value, but...
Just F with them, I basically... say, well, I'm only 16. You want to talk to my daddy? Hang on, I'll get him for you. I mute the phone, and that's it. They wait like 5-10 minutes sometimes. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, Mr. Bly is available. Hold on, let me, please hold and just hang up.
Usually answer something like this when I know it's spam. I go, California Kids Centers, how may I help you?
Sometimes I've answered the phone when you can always tell when they're calling from another country because you get those boop right before the call, so it's some guy who's just learned English, and I'll say, FBI terrorism, how can I help you?
There was one time where a spam caller called me right in the middle of a good 435 show, so I just picked up the phone and just laid it right next to the speaker and let them listen to 435 until they hung up.
Yeah, I did that before too. Like, I turn on 45 loud, and when they hear like radio in the background, they get worried because maybe law enforcement or something.
It's just effing with them. That's all. I mean, come on, So what's been going on with the frequency? I guess all the stars are gone, and anything exciting happening here?
Oh my gosh, recap. I think Perry could do better.
Are not gone.
Henry Stage died, was murdered. Perry's still out here. Hoffman, a lot of the players have moved over to the Valley repeater, 147450, which is a good thing. We've got a new crowd coming in. 425 always has this revolution. It's progress.
450, actually, I take that train, and once I get past Glendale, I can hit it with my handheld, so I get on there just for a few minutes every day. That's kind of cool, but yeah, I can't hit this one, although, amazingly, if I go to the third floor of Piper Tech where I work, I can hit this one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, so we still have Tom and Tammy Prager out here. They run the Bong Hit Net, which has become, like, really famous, like, almost, like, worldwide famous. We have the Bong Hit Net. We have, what was it last with, like, 670 members now? So we got that going. I still own this motherfucker for 11 years. Keep it working. There's a lot of help with people helping me keep it working, and I don't know.
I've heard it a few times. When I go down to San Diego once in a while, I get on the repeater, but yeah, I don't get on it. I remember one time I took a cruise with a girlfriend with Ensenada, and of course you get on the ocean and you can get in there for quite a while. So I spun this story that I'd sued a telemarketer. And he said, and it was a cruise company, but I can't say the name because we settled out of court. And our settlement was that they'd give me a cruise. So she says, I got a real special cruise. It's a singles cruise. You'll love it. I'm going to put you in a good suite room. And of course, I spun the story that I didn't tell him. He didn't tell me it was a gay cruise, and now I have all these guys wanting to, stoop me.
Yeah, you can't hit this repeater from Ensenada Mobile. I have.
No, it really is an amazing machine. But I actually it got weak right where I was hanging on the back end of the boat, and some people were listening to it, and they were asking, "What is that?" And I said, "It's a ham radio." And I said, "These guys are just a bunch of funny guys," and blah 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 blah. And I was spinning this story. I had like a crowd of people listening to me. It was amazing.
I was with a handheld offshore Ensenada.
When I got to Ensenada, I decided not to get on the radio because I was fearful that, the federales would think I'm some kind of spy or something. So I can do it on a ship because they really can't catch it, but I didn't want to go outside.
But when you had the crowd of people around you listening, you were on the water, handheld, right?
On the back end of the boat, facing the mountains, and I could get into the repeater really well. It was just a handheld, one of those little longer antennas, not the short stubbies.
Well, that's cool. I've had a similar experience. I did a lot of scuba diving out there a while back, and on a boat. Like I've told the story before, but I've been on deck with a 5-watt HG, hitting the repeater fine.
But all these people, there was some guy who was a movie producer, and he said, "That's really cool. Yeah, how do I get on that thing?" And I told him how, and gave him the frequency, and I said, "Go get yourself go to a ham radio outlet, and they can get you. You can get some books." And I told him hamstudy.org. That's the easy way to get a license because it's just memorization. And oddly enough, he did show up on the repeater. He said, "Yeah, HMC, I met you on that ship." But that was like months later, so people didn't kind of tie A to B.
That's cool. Well, of course, like AHRO doesn't even ask you for a ham radio license anymore. They used to, way back.
Oh, this guy didn't want to get in trouble, so he actually did it the right way.
Awesome. A few people out here, Bob, we've got a few people out here that, checking it. Like, "Do you have a license?" "Oh, no, but I'm working on it." So we're trying to encourage them to actually, take the test, Not that hard. 8-year-old's past technician. Come on.
I met this lady on the train, and we started talking, and she was getting a divorce, blah, 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 blah.
That's kind of what Bob does.
And she actually thought my radio was cool, so she actually got her license. And now I'm married to her, KK6MMC. And it was kind of funny because it was the radio that she was curious about.
So that was your connection point?
That's it, and that's how I got started with it.
Oh, wow. Have radio.
Let's see what I have years ago. I had, that was like 15 years ago. I had I forgot what it was. I think it was a Baofeng I had back then. It was a Baofeng. Cheap Baofeng. I've got something now that's kind of interesting. It's a TID Radio H8. It's a 10-watt handheld, which is cool. But you program it, believe it or not, get this, from your cell phone.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Baofeng that you can program with your cell phone. Huh. Never heard of that.
This is a TID radio. It's TID radio. It's and they use a program called OD Master, and it's really well done. The radio is just an FM radio. It doesn't have any other special features.